In 1995, softball returned to Texas Tech. And not just 30 years later, the program would become a powerhouse in the sport, earning not only their first berth in the Women's College World Series, but claiming the title of national runner-up. This season, the Red Raiders look to finish the job, currently playing at the Helen of Troy Softball Complex, facing off against the University of Texas at El Paso, who gets ready to move to the Mountain West on July 1st of this season. Welcome to the broadcast booth. Alongside Benji Grajeda, I'm Sebastian Perez Navarro. Texas Tech claimed a 16-0 victory over the UTEP Miners in Game 1 of today's doubleheader. Let's take a look at the action that occurred moments ago.
Talk about a 16-0 difference in this game. Dominant effort by Texas Tech, and that's what really got it started. It was that 3-run homer by Liz in the second inning to extend that lead for Texas Tech. They scored 8 in the second inning. You also have a 3-run homer by Spearman in this game, a solo shot by her, and a 2-run homer by Burns, and just a dominant effort on the mound by both pitchers of Kennedy and Terry for Texas Tech, combining for 10 strikeouts and only allowing 1 hit for the Miners.
For Texas Tech, it was their 43rd victory of the season, despite allowing 1 base hit from the University of Texas at El Paso Miners, claimed by CC Marquez. However, the trend still continues. Of top 5 teams losing to opponents, number 2 Alabama went down to Samford, number 1 Oklahoma went down to Oklahoma State. All of these happening last week. How do the Red Raiders continue from stopping that trend?
Just keep commanding the circle, only allowing 1 hit, as we mentioned, 10 combined strikeouts, so they're doing perfect in that aspect. Applying the constant pressure, they got high in a lot of counts, pressuring the UTEP pitching, where they had to use 4 pitchers in Game 1, and they created that separation fast by scoring 8 runs in the second inning in Game 1.
Let's look back on history for UTEP softball. They beat in Texas Tech on March of 2021 and March of 2024. It was the first victories for UTEP against a Power 4 opponent since 2015. Both of those claimed by Coach TJ Hubbard. How does he get his 3rd tonight?
Well, it starts with keeping it close. They kept it close within the first inning, but thanks to a couple mistakes defensively, Texas Tech was able to open this one. If they have runners in scoring position, they have to capitalize on that aspect, as it didn't come very often in Game 1, and you have to avoid the big innings. They allowed 8 runs in the second, 5 runs in the 5th. Cannot allow more than 2 runs against an elite Texas Tech team.
The Red Raiders look to make it 2 wins in a row. The UTEP Miners want to slay the beast. You're watching Conference USA Softball on ESPN+. It's time for Game 2 between Texas Tech and the University of Texas at El Paso over the West Texas sun and under Moncristo Rey. Parts of a landscape defining West Texas and El Paso. The Franklin Mountains, an area that cover the 23-mile radius of the University of Texas at El Paso, as we take a look at UTEP's defense.
See there, Jackaway getting the start at center, Leon at right field, Sepulveda at second base. So those are the new faces defensively for the Miners in Game 2.
For Texas Tech, the top remains the same. Maya Davis starts it off for the Red Raiders as we take a look at the rest of the batting order for Texas Tech.
We have Terry hitting second once again with Davis leading off. Liz in the cleanup hole after hitting that 3-run homer in game one. Spearman moves up to the 5th spot. And you have Allred making the start at right field, batting 8th.
And you have some changes in for the University of Texas at El Paso. Most notable is this. Serenity Jagaway, who is a pitcher and a hitter, is down at center field for UTEP. Getting the start inside of the circle is Hannah Jones.
See head coach CJ Hubbard going with some different options for game 2. Just looking for some hits to produce runs.
It's Marquez down at left field. Down at right is Ariana Lisette Leon. Maya Davis gets the top started. Hits him with a bunt base. Throw is not in time from Betancourt to leadoff base hit at the top of the 1st.
Perfectly executed bunt on the first pitch by Davis just puts it where the UTEP infield is playing deep in the diamond and easily advances to first with her speed.
So runner allowed early. It's Davis off with a base hit. She had 1 hit through 3 at-bats in game number 1. Pass ball by Carranza. Throw on over to short is not accurate or in time, meaning that there's a runner in scoring position through Davis down at second base.
So that's Davis's 2nd stolen base in both games combined. So now she's in scoring position. The 2nd pitch of this game.
It's Lynn Sepulveda making the start over at second base. Caitlin Terry returns to the plate after being a part of a pitching entourage that threw 10 strikeouts in game number 1. She comes to the plate after having a 2-for-3 performance last time around, which resulted in 2 runs. The 1-1. Shows bunt, has it. Jones is not in time in making the throw. Runners on the corners for the Red Raiders.
So small ball by Texas Tech early on in game 2. Back-to-back bunts by the lineup, and they both reached on, so now you have runners on the corners.
It's Caitlin Terry achieving her 3rd hit against UTEP through 2 games. Runners on the corners. Jones gets set to deal. Does so. Hit. Center field. It goes past the head of Jacaway, and it's an early 3-run home run off of the bat of junior Mia Williams. From a Gator to a Red Raider, demonstrates Raider power.
That ball was hit into orbit by Williams, sends it deep, deep out of here, hitting it over the rock wall that's out there behind the fence. And just like that, Texas Tech has an early 3-0 lead. See, that ball went out of frame there.
Off to a quick start. Runners on early through base hits. Davis and Terry, and in comes Mia Williams to finish the job. Williams had no hits in game number 1. First hit in El Paso was a homer. Now deals to Jackie Liz, the senior transfer from Southern Illinois. Liz connects, foul ball.
Was Liz with a 3-run homer in game 1 back in the 2nd inning. She had a triple, homer, and a double. She was only a single away from the cycle.
Ground ball, it goes past first base. So Jackie Liz is up to first off of a ground ball.
That time does get the single. So technically she has a cycle for both games combined.
Texas Tech keeping the speed up through game 2 of this doubleheader. 4 consecutive hits on true freshman Hannah Jones. Up comes Desiree Spearman. You talk about home runs, you mentioned the name of the former Hanks High School softball player, led the nation in home runs back when she was a senior with 30. Part of a culture that sees 24 public high schools in El Paso, Texas. The 915 is in a situation where it isn't large enough to constitute suburbs, but it isn't small due to a small number of high schools. In there, you start to cultivate passions and rivalries. Desiree Spearman was that for the Hanks Knights. She ultimately went on to continue her collegiate softball career at New Mexico State University. This season, her first donning the red jerseys of the Red Raiders. 2-1 count for Spearman.
Talk about all the different types of rivalries here in the El Paso area. The area code of 915 is the nickname 915.
2-1, turns to 2-2. Those red jerseys, give them historical credit because it's part of the reason of why Texas Tech is named the Red Raiders to begin with. We go back to 1936 when the sports editor of the Lubbock Morning Avalanche, Collier Parrish, called Texas Tech the Red Raiders because of their rigorous coast-to-coast schedule and their all-red jerseys. Previously, from 1925 to 36, Texas Tech was known as the Matadors because of their university's Spanish architecture. Spearman connects with power, foul ball.
Pretty cool history there for those that don't know at home on why Texas Tech is called the Red Raiders. They've been traveling a lot too this season, as they have a lot of changes in conference.
Runner on first. Spearman takes a walk. Runners on first and second. Spearman reaches.
So now the first 5 batters for Texas Tech have reached on.
No outs on the board. Hannah Jones has her hands full. She did pitch in game number 1 against Texas Tech. Came into today with an earned run average of 11.35. Her performance against Texas Tech resulted in 1 hit allowed, 2 runs coming home. Both of those were earned, dealing 1 walk and 1 home run through 1.1 innings pitched. Part of 4 pitchers that played against Texas Tech the prior game.
Just shows to show how Texas Tech was able to work the counts against the UTEP pitchers, and that's what made them utilize 4 different pitchers in those 5 innings played.
The 1-1, Jasmine Burns up to the plate, hits it, foul ball. Turns to 1-2. For Burns, coming off a game that saw her have 4 at-bats but no hits. For the junior transfer from Ohio State University, looks to change that. That'll help. Bounces off the right fence wall. Runners everywhere. 1 run comes home, and it's Texas Tech with a 4-0 lead off of the legs of Jackie Liz.
RBI double there for Burns. You see there, just muscles it out to right field. Late jump by Leon out there too, and just hops off the fence. 2 runners in scoring position, and now a 4-0 lead for the Red Raiders.
You have 1 game in which you play in the sun, but then you get into the second game. That's when the sun begins to set. The climate also begins to alter. Winds now at 12 miles per hour, gusts at 20 miles per hour. Now lowering compared to when this doubleheader started.
It is still windy, I'll say that. Those winds are blowing out there in right field. That's the thing that hasn't changed. The sun has come down, it's gonna get cooler, but the wind still stays the same.
It's Burns down at second base, and it's Spearman down at third base. She's having a word with head coach Jerry Glasgow, who was brought on to this team of 2020. He was the Big 12 Coach of the Year in 2025 for good reason. That season, Texas Tech achieved their most wins ever in program history. They hosted their first regional, first super regional, and they reached their first World Series. Head coach Jerry Glasgow is credited with a lot of the reason of why the Red Raiders went from a program in which was noticed in the Power 4 to now being a powerhouse.
Yeah, they were known as just an average team before 2024. I mean, you finished 8-16 in 2024. Last season, you finished 20-4 in conference play, making it to the Collegiate World Series final, being the runners-up, and now you're 16-2 thus far in Big 12 play. So a lot has to do with the coaching staff that has come along back in June of 2024, but also the players they've been able to acquire.
We go to the flip side of coaching staffs. UTEP decides to make a change. Inside of the circle comes true freshman Tatiana Vega. So far dealing an earned run average of 5.55. From inside of the circle, she's 8-12 this season. Through 30 appearances today, her 31st. The true freshman out of Tucson, Arizona, a 3-time Southern Region Player of the Year, and a 2-time Final Six state qualifier out of Sunnyside High School, now gets set to pitch against the 5th best team in the nation.
Yeah, Vega has been UTEP's best pitcher this season, has also pitched the most innings out of anybody for the Miners.
She comes in to relieve Hannah Jones, and she starts pitching against Taylor Pano, the redshirt junior. For Pano, 3 appearances at the plate, resulted in 3 hits. 4 runs batted in, was walked once. Count is 2-0 for Pano.
Vega has pitched 112 1/3 innings. To show in perspective, the next pitcher for UTEP pitched 58 2/3 innings this season. That's Ariana Flores. So a lot of the workload has come on Vega thus far this season.
Count turns to 3-0 with the threat of loading up the bases. First batter Vega deals with today through 2 games. Deals strike 1.
So Pano has the green light if she wants to take a swing at this one, but 2 runners still in scoring position.
The 3-1. Deals. Pano will walk on over to first base. Bases loaded, no outs on the board. Texas Tech already with 5 hits at the top of the first.
Just continuing to dominate, 20 runs combined over the past 5 innings, with yet an out to be recorded in this game.
Deals, strike 1. Currently facing redshirt junior Lauren Alred. Home state of Texas, hitting .372 so far this season, 32 hits for Alred. Has it, ground ball, gloved over at second, throw to first is in time, but a run comes in through Desiree Spearman. Texas Tech is up by 5.
Productive out for Alred, who is starting this game after she didn't start the first game. Brings in a run home for a 5-0 lead.
In comes for Texas Tech to hit Nigeri Kennedy. Kennedy is known for her pitching prowess. Multiple awards, including the 2025 Division I Softball National Pitcher of the Year. Now, on the hitter's side, so far hitting .250. Here's her first at-bat through 2 games. Vega deals, it's strike 1.
Playing at first base too. So you'll see her on the mound in the bottom half of the inning.
The 2025 Big 12 Pitcher of the Year skies it down to right field, but Leon has it down on her glove. Texas Tech will get a run in. Throw on over to third is not in time. So Kennedy is out, but it's productive. A run comes in for Texas Tech and a runner on third.
Yeah, sac fly was in effect there for Texas Tech. It was hit deep enough in right field where Burns could tag from third. So now it's 6-0 lead.
Vega slings it. Ball 1. Back to the top of the lineup in only the top of the first. The 1-0 count with 2 outs. Davis 1 for 1 today. A base hit, now a runner on third. Count 2-0.
Yeah, Burns started it off with a bunt, stole a base as well.
The 2-0. Vega slings it. Strike 1.
See your show bunt there again. With Benincourt a little bit inside at third base.
The 2-1. Slings. High. Inside. Ball 3. Texas Tech coming off a season where in the NCAA postseason, they were the number 12 overall seed. The 3-1 pitch results in a strike.
Umpire thought it was a full count there.
So from 3-1 to 3-2. Davis thought she walked Full count payoff pitch on the way. Swings it, foul ball. So it's Davis who leads this squad in hits, continuing to battle. Her freshman and sophomore campaign spent with Louisiana Lafayette. Ball is high, passed on by Carranza. Davis will once again advance to first base off the mistake. No play has been made. Davis crept her way onto second. Now she's in a sticky situation. In comes the runner home. She's safe. So it's Davis down at second base, and it's Panel who comes home, and Texas Tech capitalizes off the UTEP error.
See there, Davis trying to catch the UTEP defense off guard when she goes from first to second, but then see Panel taking off to home after that situation was happening, and she was fast enough to be there safely. Wow.
The play did not end. Texas Tech catches UTEP off guard, and it's Caitlin Terry who returns to the plate. Davis is known for her sneakiness around the diamond. She was only the third Cajun in history to reach 40 stolen bases in her time at Louisiana Lafayette. Currently dealing to Caitlin Terry, known as KT. Last game, the K was emphasized. The transfer from UCLA has already played at an NCAA tournament as a Bruin, looks to do it again, but this time as a Red Raider. Texas Tech in a best-of-3 series against the Texas Longhorns. Lost in their final game, but their first appearance in the Women's College World Series resulted in second place. A noble effort now, having the #1 recruiting class in the nation. Look to finish the 3-1. Ball 4 dealt. Runners on first and second with 2 outs.
So it's back-to-back walks issued by Tatiana Vega, since coming into this one, her third walk issued to add on to it. Now you have a runner on first and second for Tech, and it's still the top of the first.
And it's Mia Williams, who had a 3-run home run, who returns to the plate. Here's the pitch, it's strike 1.
Williams is the 12th batter up to bat for Texas Tech in this inning.
8 Red Raiders were named to Softball America's top 100 player list. Mia Williams is one of those. She was ranked 16th in the nation. We saw why earlier, hit the previous pitch foul. Down on the count, 0-2. It's the junior transfer from Florida hitting against the true freshman pitcher from Arizona. 0-2. Here's the pitch. It's ball 1.
Mentioned Williams got the scoring started for Texas Tech in this game about 10-15 minutes ago.
The 1-2, 2 outs, runners on first and second. Vega slings just outside for ball 2.
Try to paint the edge there, the outside edge of the strike zone, but just misses it for the even 2-2 count.
UTEP a home record of 7-17. Down by 7 runs, looking to bring an end to the top of the first. Slings it, it goes down to shallow right field, bases loaded, in comes 1 run for Texas Tech through Davis's legs, runners on the corners, it's the Red Raiders who extend their lead, 8-0 over the UTEP Miners.
Got a little blooper into shallow right field by Williams, just gets it at the top of her bat and just falls in between Jacaway and Sepulveda there. Another run for Texas Tech.
2 outs, runners on the corners. Texas Tech extends their lead. In comes Jackie Liz. Last time she was up, a base hit. Liz facing the 1-0. UTEP already with 2 pitchers inside of the circle today. Deals, high for ball 2.
Mentioned Liz had a single her first time up in this inning. Also had a 3-run homer in game 1.
Second in the nation in hitting is Texas Tech. Straight down the middle for strike 1. Only behind Oklahoma. Yesterday when the NCAA rankings were revealed, it was the Red Raiders dropping from 3 to 5. That comes after they dropped from the #1 slot after getting upset by Utah. Before coming to the Helen of Troy softball complex, suffered a loss to the Texas State Bobcats. Now looking to make it 2 in a row over another Lone Star foe. The 2-2. Liz slings. Connects but a foul ball.
Just skips foul over the third base bag. Payoff pitch coming up with the 2-2 count.
It's the Red Raiders who just earned their 18th victory in this series between UTEP and Texas Tech. Have been playing since UTEP's inaugural season. Ground ball, up second base, and it's another run in for the Texas Tech Red Raiders with runners on first and second.
Another RBI for Texas Tech, this time by Liz. In this game, 2 for 2 in this inning. Nothing.
An RBI by Jackie Liz. Welcome home, KT. Spearman comes back to the plate. Last time she was up, she was walked. This comes after a game where she had 2 consecutive home runs. The hometown hitter back in El Paso, Texas, after playing her high school softball in this very city. Went to New Mexico State University before joining the Texas Tech Red Raiders. There she was one of Softball America's top 5 utility and two-way players. The 2024 CUSA Freshman of the Week 5 times, part of that season's CUSA All-Freshman team. She was part of the 2024 Conference USA First Team twice, both as a pitcher and an outfielder. In 2025, named to the All-Region First Team by the National Fast Pitches Coaches Association. Now has sat comfortably as a hitter as part of Texas Tech. Still pitches, but that has come through 3 appearances and 4.2 innings pitched. Recruited to be part of a national powerhouse, and now she loads the bases for the Red Raiders.
So now you have Burns up to bat, who will be the 15th hitter up to bat for Texas Tech in this inning, showing their dominance. Reached on 7 consecutive times to start this game off, got 2 outs, and then now it's been 5 consecutive base runners.
So it's Kara Carranza having a word inside of the circle with Tatiana Vega. A tough situation for UTEP knowing this. You play a doubleheader on Wednesday, then you have your final CUSA home series Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Then you go on the road once again to close off your season. For Texas Tech, it's much of the same. Another Big 12 series coming up this weekend.
Yeah, they're looking to compete for the Big 12 title, where they're currently 4 games ahead of Arizona in the Big 12 standings.
Swing and a miss from Jasmine Burns.
And if they clinch the series against Arizona State, they're more than likely to be the Big 12 champs.
An RBI double last time for Burns. Shows power, hits it foul, going down the right field line. A trio of minors went there to get it. Falls inside the glove of no one. The 0-2.
Just goes foul. The grass area. Still a lot of fans here. You see there Texas Tech. They'll head to Tempe, Arizona.
Arizona
on national TV on ESPN2.
Burns hits it, goes inside of the glove of Ileana Munoz. That's the 3rd and final out of the top of the 1st. Atop of the 1st, that saw Texas Tech take a dominant lead over the University of Texas at El Paso. The Miners look to respond. You're watching Conference USA Softball on ESPN+. softball was changed forever when Nigeri Kennedy became a member of the Texas Tech Red Raiders. What is considered to be the best pitcher in all of collegiate softball is inside of the circle at the Helen of Troy Softball Complex as we take a look at the Red Raider defense.
Yeah, you have a couple of changes there. You have Spearman at short after she was in left. You have Terry in left after pitching last game. And Allred makes a start at right field for the Red Raiders.
As for the Miners, they scored no runs in game number 1. They look to change that tonight as we take a look at their starting lineup.
You have Ari Leon leading off for UTEP. Same order, Marquez Munoz and Carranza in the cleanup hole. You have Robel at DP and Sepulveda and Jacoway in the 8th and 9th hole.
And it is Ariana Lisette Leon, nicknamed Ari Leon, getting the top of the order started. The true freshman from Gilbert, Arizona. She did play against Texas Tech in game number 1 near the end. She returns in part 2 of both of these squads' doubleheader.
Miners looking for their first hit early on. Their first hit didn't come until the bottom of the 4th in game 1.
The 1-1. Kennedy slings it for strike number 2.
We also talked about last game how Kennedy's velocity is around the 70-71 miles per hour range. For reference, the average velocity in softball is about 60-63 miles per hour.
1-2. Turns to a strikeout. First K of game 2 for Nigeri Kennedy.
She had 3 strikeouts in game 1 and now gets her first one, game 2 with the first batter. Just catches her looking there.
Leon goes back to the dugout. Up to the plate is Cici Marquez, responsible for UTEP's sole hit going back 1 game. When you talk about history, you talk about Kennedy. Last season, her first as a Red Raider. She played in 61 games, starting 56. 46 appearances inside of the circle as she deals ball 2. Overall, she was 34-7, an earned run average of 1.11, dealing 319 strikeouts and earning the most wins in program history, the second best earned run average in program history, and the second most strikeouts in program history. The addition of Kennedy and the head coaching change that was made to hire Jerry Glasgow is heavily credited for making Texas Tech a perennial powerhouse.
Literally in his first year, they went to the Collegiate World Series and were the runners-up against Texas.
Count is 2-2. In total, there are 7 NCAA tournament appearances for Texas Tech, dating back to 1999. The 2-2, skied foul ball. Their most recent, to the reign of 2010s, Texas Tech made 4 NCAA postseason appearances. Before Jerry Glasgow, the coach with the best winning percentage was Shannon Hayes. As strike number 3 and K number 2 is earned by Nigeri Kennedy. Shannon Hayes, a record of 186 to 96 losses. Coach from 2010 to 14.
See there on the replay, catching her looking. That's back-to-back looking strikeouts issued by Kennedy.
During Hayes' reign, Texas Tech had 3 straight regional appearances. There's also history when it comes to softball and baseball. Shannon Hayes, the son of legendary head coach Larry Hayes of Texas Tech baseball. Larry Hayes coaching from 1987 to 2008 with the Red Raiders. The 1-1. Kennedy slings it. Outside, ball 2.
So now Kennedy has 5 strikeouts in both games combined today.
Ileana Munoz 0 for 2 in game number 1. Skies it down center field. It does not have the power to lift over the fence. Instead, it goes under the glove of Davis, and it brings an end to the first inning. One that was defined by Texas Tech dominance. They lead 9-0 going into the second. You're watching CUSA Softball on ESPN+. Over the mountains of the West Texas town of El Paso stands the Helen of Troy Softball Complex. Originally opened in 2003 off of a budget of $1.8 million. It has been the home of UTEP softball for 23 years. This, their last season in Conference USA. This upcoming weekend, their last stand at home in CUSA. They are the longest tenured member in their conference, being a member of Conference USA since 2005. They face off against Missouri State Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Those 3 games available on ESPN+. Currently, it's true freshman Tatiana Vega dealing with this Tech Red Raiders. Panel currently at the plate. Last time she was walked. That comes after an outing in game number 1, where the Red Raiders beat UTEP 16-0, where Panel was perfect. Tries to show that perfection again, but her hit doesn't have the power to lift over Cici Marquez. Instead, it's out number 1 at the top of the second.
Had a lot of power on that one, but just got under it where it was skied a mile high. Routine play for Marquez for the first out.
2 consecutive flyouts dealt. UTEP trying to avoid a situation like the top of the first inning, where it lasted 29 minutes.
Scored 9 runs, had 15 batters up to bat, and they had 12 batters reach on.
UTEP awaits a series against Missouri State. It's Texas Tech, who's going to play ASU in a couple of days. Ground out made, Eliana Munoz gloved it, taps on first base before Allred has the chance to. So it's 2 consecutive outs against the Red Raiders.
Looks like now you're gonna have a pitch hitter for Texas Tech, Victoria Valdez, who was the catcher in last game.
Valdez comes back to the plate after hitting in game number 1. Slings it immediately with power, but it goes down left field into foul territory.
Just a tad early on that ball, but that would have been gone if she would have hit it half a second late.
The senior Valdez still searching for her first hit of the season. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Valdez, previously part of Louisiana Lafayette. Breakout season during her sophomore campaign where she batted .293 and took over starting catcher duties. Came to Texas Tech a year after, where last season she played in 68 games, started 63. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, and it's quick work for Tatiana Vega and the UTEP defense. No runs allowed at the top of the second. The Miners look to cut it close coming into the bottom of the inning. You're watching Conference USA Softball on ESPN Plus as UTEP looks to cut it to the deficit. West Texan skies in an irreplaceable sun is the Helen of Troy Softball Complex, in which saw its homeowners, the UTEP Miners, shut out Texas Tech at the top of the second. Now they look to bite into game 2 of this doubleheader between the Red Raiders and the Miners, down 9-0 after a dominant first inning performance by Texas Tech. Kana Carranza comes up to the plate for the first time today. She deals against Nigeri Kennedy, who got the start inside of the circle. Deals 2 consecutive balls to Carranza. No hits from the 5th-year player out of Arlington, Texas. Kennedy slings it on the 2-0, turns to 2-1.
See Kennedy go off speed, and then on that strike, fastball down the middle.
We go back to Kennedy's days in Stanford as a freshman and sophomore. That latter season saw her achieve 337 Ks in an earned run average of .73. Led the nation in both of those stat categories. Stanford, both of those seasons, made the Final Four at the Women's College World Series. Both of the times Kennedy played. Carranza awarded a walk. She'll take it down to first.
First base runner for UTEP here in the bottom of the second, thanks to a walk issue to Carranza. Very rarely do you see Kennedy issue walks. Now the Miners have a runner on with no outs.
It's only the 5th walk of the season so far through pitching-wise. Kennedy allowing 33 walks, 1 just allowed against Carranza. As the lineup continues with Marissa Burchard on a cold streak through 8 games, no hits. Burchard, 39 hits so far this season, looking to make it 40. Foul ball. Part of the CUSA all-freshman team as the freshman hit 291, a total of 37 hits. She has already superseded her performance last season, but looking to get back on track is the sophomore from LaBelle, Florida. Count 1-2.
Burchard, who was hitting for the most part on the top of the lineup, has been hitting around the 5th and 6th spot over the past few games.
Runner on first, foul ball. It's Burchard remaining alive out of LaBelle High School, immediately recruited to UTEP. A 3-sport athlete down at LaBelle High School, and in sophomore, broke the home run record. So far this season, Burchard has 3 homers, but her last hit came on April 4th against Delaware. That was a single. That was also UTEP's last home game until tonight. The 1-2.
Not to mention, she was a triathlete in high school, swimming and also playing basketball.
Check the swing. Burchard did go. Out number 1 at the bottom of the second.
The 3rd strikeout for Kennedy out of 5 batters.
Coming in to this doubleheader, Kennedy was pitching an earned run average of 1.40. That's 8th in the nation. In 2024 and 2025, the CU awarded the Honda Sports Award. Sports Awards, and one is given to the top women athletes in each NCAA sports and is voted on by over 1,000 administrators from NCAA schools. The 0-1 to Mallory Zielinski-Robull, who enters the starting lineup in game number 2, had playing time as catcher in game number 1. The 1-1. Deals, strike 2.
See Kennedy attacking with the fastball against Robel. A couple of swing and misses for this at-bat.
A total of 286 hits in the season for UTEP. They've slipped from CUSA hitting standings. They went from 5th when they ended their series against Delaware after having series against NMSU and Western Kentucky University. UTEP is now down at 9th place. Looking to break a 12-game losing streak. The 2-2. Swung on, missed for strike 3, and out number 2.
4th strikeout now for Canada. There's a reason why she's one of the top pitchers in the country and was the pitcher of the year last season, as we've mentioned. Showing on display here.
In comes Aaliyah Betancourt. A story that juxtaposes Desiree Spearman's. Spearman, a native from El Paso, Texas, decided to go to New Mexico State University. Betancourt, a native of Las Cruces, New Mexico, decided to go to the University of Texas at El Paso. Now batting against what is considered to be the best pitcher in the nation, Nigeri Kennedy. The 1-1, even count for Betancourt. No hits in game number 1. Makes contact, ground ball to third base, throw on over to first is in time. And it ends the bottom of the 2nd. Texas Tech remains with a lead over the University of Texas at El Paso, entering the top of the 3rd inning. You're watching CUSA Softball on ESPN+. Gary Glass back in 2024, his 2nd season at Texas Tech, turned him into a national powerhouse. Beginning his coaching career in the NCAA back in 2009, he was with Georgia as an assistant coach. In 2012, he would be elevated to an associate head coach. He would then make stops at Texas A&M and at Auburn, previously the head coach of Louisiana, earning program records with them through 2018 all the way up to 2024. 6 Sun Belt regular season championships, 4 conference tournament championships, along with 2 Sun Belt Coach of the Year awards, as it's an early ground out at the bottom of the 3rd for Davis.
Yeah, what a resume for head coach Jerry Glasgow. Has produced 15 All-Americans, 66 All-Conference honorees, and 49 all-region selections in his career.
We go back to his time at Georgia, earning 2 Final Four appearances at the Women's College World Series. Grounded, down to 2nd, throw to 1st is not in time, so it's 2 consecutive outs for the UTEP defense.
So 2 pitches, 2 outs for the UTEP defense on Davis and Terry. Vega trying to go quickly through the lineup.
And in comes Williams. It was a quick top of the 2nd. Vega wanting to mimic it. Down to shallow right. Williams will deny her of that opportunity as she struts on over to first base with a 2-out base hit.
So now Williams is 3 for 3 in this game. She was 1 for 3 last game.
Jackie Liz, 2 for 2 from the plate today. Last time she was up, an RBI single. The Red Raiders shut out at the top of the 2nd after notching in 9 runs at the top of the 1st. This program, whose inaugural year was all the way in 1981, played until 1985, then disbanded between the years of 1986 to 95. It was in that season where Texas Tech brought back their program. They joined the Big 12, and since then they have had 12 total coaches in program histories, 7 NCAA tournament appearances, reaching their first ever Super Regional and Women's College World Series last season. Play on over to Bertrand is in time at second base, and it brings an end to the top of the third. 2 consecutive innings where Texas Tech can't get a run. UTEP looks to take advantage. You're watching Conference USA Softball on ESPN+. In 1974, when UTEP officially introduced women's athletics at the NCAA level. The first 2 sports were basketball and volleyball. UTEP's first ever head coach for women's athletics was Carol Ammerman. She was only 22 years old, hired from Wayland Baptist University. These teams, coming from the idea of intramural flag football coaches Wayne Thornton and Don Lewis, who envisioned more of a role for women in UTEP athletics. That led to history, including a softball program whose inaugural season was 2004. Now, in just 1 month, UTEP gets set to make the move to the Mountain West in a couple of months. Originally part of the Western Athletic Conference, played in 27 games, joined CUSA in 2005, are the longest tenured member. That will soon change. Kennedy remains inside of the circle with a 2-0 count as Lynn Sepulveda comes up to the plate for the first time today. First time through 2 against Texas Tech. Sepulveda is hitting 67. Today, her 17th game played, 8 started. 1 hit that came against UMass Lowell, going back to the UTEP Invitational to start off the season for this program.
Sepulveda has the green light here on the 3-1 count if she wants to take a swing at it.
The 3-1, Sepulveda does, results in 3-2.
Although that would have been a ball, it would have been a walk issued if she did not swing at that high fastball by Kennedy.
The 3-2. Kennedy deals. Swing and a miss for K number 1 at the bottom of the 3rd. In total, 5th strikeout of the day.
Yeah, came back after being down on the 3-0, worked her way up to the strikeout on Sepulveda, the high velocity she has.
Texas Tech on a 3-game winning streak against the University of Texas at El Paso. Last time UTEP got the best of the Red Raiders, you'd have to go back to March 1st of 2024. A 3-2 victory. Both wins against Texas Tech were UTEP's first dubs against the Power 4 opponent since 2015. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Serenity Jockaway playing for the first time today against Texas Tech. Comes into the game hitting .333. Today, the 18th game she's played. Deals, results in strike 3. 2 consecutive outs claimed by Kennedy.
So that's back-to-back strikeouts for Kennedy in this game. That's the 3rd time she's had back-to-back strikeouts, 2 in this game.
Now batting number 2, right fielder, Leon.
UTEP in search of their 8th win at home as they restart the lineup with Ari Leon. She takes strike 1. Last time she was up resulted in a strikeout from Kennedy, who has pitched all of today's game. In game number 1, you see her swapping with Caitlin Terry. The 0-1 connects, foul ball. The 0-2, 2 outs. 1 more strike ends the inning. Deals. Ball 1.
You have Kennedy, 6 strikeouts in this game, 3 in the first game for a combined 9 strikeouts for the almost 5 innings she's pitched against the Miners today.
The 1-2. Kennedy slings it, swing and a miss. It brings an end to the bottom of the 3rd. Texas Tech continues with a 9-0 lead over the University of Texas at El Paso. They look to extend it entering the 4th inning. You're watching CUSA Softball on ESPN+. After it was announced in 2024, many fans around UTEP proclaimed that the Miners were coming home when it was proclaimed that the University of Texas at El Paso would make the move to the Mountain West. We are just a couple of months away from that shift in the collegiate sporting world. Ever since joining in 2005, the conference has seen the addition of 21 schools, but 16 schools have left. UTEP is the only remaining member from the class of 2005 to join CUSA to still be in the conference. Desiree Spearman knows a thing or two about playing in Conference USA. She was part of the New Mexico State University Aggies through her freshman to junior campaigns. Now, a senior for Texas Tech. Hits it down into foul territory. Thought it'd be a home run, instead it's a foul ball.
See Leon go blazing fast for that foul ball. Ultimately bobbles it for a strike 2.
Spearman has been walked twice, hit 2 home runs in game number 1 against the University of Texas at El Paso. The 2024 Conference USA Player of the Year. Last season made the first team. Deals outside.
Spearman has walked her first 2 times in this game, twice in the first.
Vega slings low. For Spearman, setting the program record batting average at NMSU, hitting .430. Deals. Connects for strike number 3 and out number 1 at the top of the 4th.
Second strikeout for Vega in this game. Catches Spearman looking inside the strike zone for the first out of the top of the 4th.
The junior strikes out. Out number 1 earned by Vega, searches for the second. As a change made, pinch hitter, in comes Haley Toney. Started in game number 1 against UTEP. Toney 3 for 3 last time around, now faces the 1-1 in the position of Burns. Deals, ball 2. The 2-1. Vega slings it, connects into foul territory for strike number 2.
Yeah, Burns, who had an RBI double in the first inning before popping up to first base. Starting at catcher in this game was the DP last game.
We go back to last season for Toney. She led the team with doubles with 14. Had 21 multi-hit games, including a hit in Texas Tech's final 10 games of the season. She also recorded Texas Tech's first home run in Women's College World Series history. That came against UCLA on May 31st. Toney skies it. She might just do it again. Goes down to right field. Goodbye and welcome home, Haley Toney. A solo home run for the sophomore.
That ball was hit a mile high. Thanks to the wind that is blowing out in right field, it carried it towards the truck and gone. 10-0 lead for the Red Raiders.
Lost into the night sky. Toney blasts a home run over the view of the Franklin Mountains and extends Texas Tech's lead 10-0. Regular lineup continues. In comes Panel. 0 for 1 today. Was walked her first time around. Last time up resulted in a flyout. Deals, connects with power, goes down to shallow center field. It is brought in by Jackaway for out number 2.
Tell you what, that home run hit by Burns, it looked like it was going to be a pop fly, but just the amount of power she was able to get on that ball and the carry it had, it was gone for the solo shot.
And in comes Lauren Allred. So far, Allred is 0 for 2 today. 2 consecutive groundouts. Pitch on the way. Strike 1.
0 for 2 with an RBI for the Red Raiders. Looking for her first hit in this game.
We go back to last season with the redshirt junior, was part of the 2025 All Big 12 team, leading her squad in RBIs with 54. So far this season, Allred has 28 on 32 hits. Came into the day batting .372, up from last year's 57. The 1-1 doesn't go, ball 2. Two 1, 2 outs, no runners on. Vega looking to bring an end to the top of the 4th. Slings down the middle for strike 2.
Vega able to find the strike zone there. Looking to end this inning, only allowing 1 run.
2-2 for Allred. Vega slings it high, ball 3.
It's another full count for Texas Tech. Mentioned it in the first game how they were able to work the count deep to a couple of full counts. And here in game 2 as well.
Payoff pitch with 2 outs on the way. Off the elbow, hit by a pitch and first base is rewarded to Lauren Allred.
It's going to be a walk regardless. But that is the 4th time a Red Raider gets hit in the 2 games combined.
So a runner is on first base And up to the plate is Nigeri Kennedy. Sacrifice fly her first time around. Victoria Valdez came in to pinch hit and what would have been her second time up. Kennedy so far 8 hits. 1 home run, 9 runs batted in. The 2-time Honda Sport Award athlete taking the plate and hitting against true freshman pitcher Vega. With 2 outs, a runner on first. Count 1-0. Pitch on the way. Kennedy swings and misses for strike 1.
See Vega go with the off-speed pitch down low to catch Kennedy swinging for the first strike.
Vega slings it high, outside for ball 2.
Kennedy with an RBI sac fly in the first inning, extending the Texas Tech lead.
The 2-1. Slings, swing, and a miss for strike 2. One more ends the inning for Vega, who so far has 2 Ks. Looking for strikeout number 3. Here's the pitch on the 2-2, swings, foul ball.
Just able to get it off the end of her bat to stay alive in the 2-2 counts with 2 outs.
To retire Kennedy. Deals, swing, and a miss. It brings an end to the top of the 4th. Tatiana Vega is feeling it. UTEP looks to come back offensively. You're watching Conference USA softball as the Miners look to build off momentum. Texas Tech leading 10-0. Under the watch of Nigeri Kennedy, a pitching change made inside of the circle for Texas Tech. In comes sophomore pitcher Samantha Lincoln, so far dealing an earned run average of 2.79. From inside of the circle, undefeated at 7-0. Tonight, her 17th appearance of the year.
Yeah, she threw the 5th perfect game in program history against UMass, has appeared in 27 games. That was last season in 2025, and she has a career 3.5 ERA.
Through 52.2 innings pitched, Lincoln has allowed 39 hits, 33 runs, 21 of those have been earned. Deals, Marquez shows bunt, doesn't go with it, takes ball 1. Marquez 0 for 1 today, earned a base hit in game number 1 against Texas Tech. UTEP looking to rally. The 1-0. Turns to 2-0.
See Marquez showing bunt there. She's also the only hitter for UTEP that has gotten a hit over these 2 games against Tech.
Out of Massachusetts, Lincoln, in high school, was named the 17th best player in the class of 2024 by extra innings. She was also named the 2024 Massachusetts Player of the Year, a two-time state champion and league MVP. 3-0 turns to 3-1.
So now Marquez has the 3-1 advantage. It was this part of the game where she got the hit for UTEP in game 1 in the 4th inning.
Lincoln on the verge of allowing her 13th walk of the season, but climbing back into the count to make it full at 3-2. 50 strikeouts for the sophomore pitcher, hoping to deal number 51. Full count, payoff pitch on the way, connects. Cici Marquez has back-to-back base hits against Texas Tech through 2 games.
See how they rule that one, if it's going to be an infield hit or an error on Lincoln. Wait for the official ruling, but nonetheless, Marquez is on with no outs here in the bottom of the fourth, excuse me.
Touches the glove of Lincoln. Ball gets out of her possession. Marquez reaches first safely. As up comes Ileana Munoz. 0 for 1 today after a flyout. As officially ruled, Marquez reaching first through an error off Lincoln. Turns to 0-2.
See Lincoln throwing low, catching Munoz swinging outside the zone downstairs for the 0-2 count.
Lincoln has experience playing in big moments through 3 no-hit innings against Texas in Game 3 of the World Series Championship Series. In that game, she struck out 4 batters. The 0-2. Deals, ball 1.
So it's the first time in either game where it's a pitcher besides Kennedy or Terry on the mound for Texas Tech.
The 1-2. Slings it. Munoz doesn't go. Count even at 2-2. For the senior out of Levine, Arizona. Transferred to UTEP her junior season. Played in 44 games with 41 starts last year after spending time at South Mountain Community College. Connects. Munoz with power down to shallow left. Off the glove of Terry. It's Marquez rounding bases. Munoz stays down at first, and it's runners on the corners for the UTEP Miners. Off of the bat of Ileana Munoz.
So that's the second time between these 2 games where we see an outfielder make the grab but then slips out. It was Lavas in game 1, and this is Desiree Spearman where makes the grab but just rolls out of her glove. So the Miners have a runner in scoring position for the first time against Tech.
So it's Munoz down at first, and it's Marquez down at third. As UTEP hopes to take advantage and bring a runner home. For Coach TJ Hubbard, in this situation with all 3 outs to work with, there is no doubt about who to bring on. That's Paige Lassiter, the senior from Tampa Bay, this season hitting .323. And discussing Paige Lassiter, Coach TJ Hubbard made it simple. He has never seen someone do what she does. Lined out, up to center field, but it's Cici Marquez who comes home. Feel the rhythm, feel the rhyme, it's running time. Cici Marquez comes home for the UTEP Miners.
Productive out for Paige Lassiter. Sends it deep enough to center field to bring in the runner from third and Cici Marquez. So now UTEP's on the board for the first time today.
A base hit earlier in this doubleheader. Now notches in a run. Sacrifice hit works out from Paige Lassiter. As up to the plate comes Marissa Burchard. Lassiter back to the dugout. Burchard up at the plate. 0-1 today. 1-1 with 1 out. Burchard trying to break a cold streak. The stellar shortstop takes ball 2 from Lincoln as UTEP notches in a run against Texas Tech. With 2 outs to work with. Strike 2 dealt.
Miners with 1 hit thanks to Marquez.
The 2-2. Lincoln deals, swung on, missed. Strike 3. Lincoln needs 1 more to end the inning.
8 strikeouts in this game by the Texas Tech pitching staff. First strikeout for Lincoln since coming on relief.
Munoz stays put at first base. As in comes Mallory Zielinski Roble. 0 for 1 today. That one time was a strikeout dealt by Nigeri Kennedy. 4 hits for Roble. 3 of those have been singles, notched in a double earlier on in the year. A second-team All-American back when she played for Pima Community College. Runner on first, pitch on the way. For Roble, transferred to UTEP. Last season, she did not see action. This year, she has. Faces the 1-1. Doesn't swing, 2-1.
See, as this game goes on, the UTEP batters have been more patient at the plate, whether it's against Lincoln or against Kennedy.
2-1. Lincoln slings it down the middle for strike 2.
So now an even 2-2 and 2 counts on Roble.
Lincoln wanting to end it. 2-2 count. Pitch on the way. Called ball 3. Full count, 2 outs. Runner on first base. Roble wanting nothing more than to achieve hit number 5. Full count. Pitch number 70 on the way. Connects. Ground it down to second. Quick throw to first is in time. And it brings an end to the bottom of the 4th. One that saw CC Marquez run home. It's UTEP cutting the lead to 9. You're watching Conference USA Softball as Texas Tech looks to respond. Home, cutting the Texas Tech lead to 9. as we continue on through the night at the Helen of Troy softball complex. Remaining inside of the circle is true freshman pitcher Tatiana Vega. Deals, Davis connects on the bunt. She speeds on over to first base and gets there in time. Leadoff base hit at the top of the fifth.
You could call that a swinging bunt for Davis, and once again, her speed is quick enough. Swinging bunt there, and it was all throttle for her to go to first.
So a runner on first early as Caitlin Terry comes up to the plate. Terry, 1 for 2 today. Pitches high, outside for ball 1.
Terry with a bunt in the first and a walk, which extends her on-base streak to 36 games now. It was 34 coming into this doubleheader.
The 1-0. The stolen base attempt by Davis is in time. Maya Davis, another stolen base against the University of Texas at El Paso. Now in scoring position. The leader on this squad through 2 seasons does it again.
That's the 3rd stolen base she has in these 2 games. Second one in this one.
2-0 on Terry. Turns to 2-1. For the junior transfer. A base hit earlier today. Second time she was up, she was walked. Last time resulted in a ground out. 2-1. Turns to strike 2. Count even, 2 apiece. Runner in scoring position. That's the dangerous Maya Davis. 2-2. On the way, it's high over the glove of Roble, and Davis is going to take advantage, trotting her way down to third.
That one just got away from Vega there. It was an awkward release, so the wild pitch, and Davis easily moves into third base.
Full count at 3-2 as Vega and Roble have a word inside of the circle. Texas Tech on a quest to get back to the #1 spot in the NCAA rankings. They have Arizona State University on the horizon this weekend. They travel over to Tempe, Arizona for that series. UTEP stays at home for their final Conference USA homestand against Missouri State. Full count, 3-2 on Terry. Slings, connects, popped up, down to shallow left. It's Marquez who's got the glove underneath and throws immediately to Roble to stop Davis from coming home. It's 1 out on the board off of the pop fly from Terry.
Wasn't deep enough for Davis to tag from third to home. Didn't even think about it. Just stayed standing there with 1 out in the top of the 5th.
In comes Mia Williams, 3 for 3 today. Last time she was up, reached first base. Shows power once again. Down to right field. Ari Leon has it. Davis will make the strut home. It's in time. So a sacrifice fly for Mia Williams as Davis extends the lead, 11-1.
Productive out, sending it deep enough where even if you send it the slightest distance in the outfield between middle and deep, Davis just has all the speed in the world.
Jackie Liz comes up to the plate. 2 for 3 last time she was up, grounded out. Has reached first base each time she has been up. Swings and misses. The 0-2 on Liz. One more ends it. Slings it outside. Ball 1.
You have Liz with 2 hits in this game. Both came the top of the first. She's 2 for 3 today.
The 1-2. Connects, ground ball, past the glove of Vega. Burchard throws to Munoz, and that throw is in time to bring an end to the top of the 5th. UTEP's last chance is coming up. They're down by 10. They look to cut the deficit. You're watching Conference USA softball as UTEP looks to respond, and Texas Tech wants to hold on. It's UTEP's last chance. And in response, Samantha Lincoln remains inside of the circle with Texas Tech leading 11-1. The Red Raiders on the verge of clinching their 44th win of the season. It would be 2 in a row over the University of Texas at El Paso. It was UTEP who got a run home off of a sacrifice hit from Paige Lassiter, and came Cece Marquez. Now Aaliyah Betancourt comes up to the plate down by 10. She has experience hitting against Power 4 opponents. A home run against Arizona State University back when they visited El Paso in March. With power connects into the opposite direction.
Well, that was a loud thump.
Thump heard over the booth in a packed-out Helen of Troy softball complex for a Texas Tech team that recently revealed their 65th masked rider, Sophie Jones. The masked rider tradition, a staple of Texas Tech, dating back to 1954, as Betancourt slings it foul. When talking about that tradition that ultimately defines, it was in 1971 where they had to stop bringing live animals to opponents. So instead, that's when the Red Raider that the fan base is so familiar with came to life. It was a drawing from Jim Gaspard, which drew inspiration from Lubbock cartoonist Dirk West. But if you talk about history of mascots, UTEP's history is also rich. Patered Peach, originating in 1962, Pete was a handmade caricature by Marshall Meese. And it was in 1973 that then athletic director Jim Bowden asked Meese to rework his drawing, and then a naming contest was held. That was when Patered Pete was named, and it was in 1980 when he officially made his debut. But you want to know what the first ever mascot for UTEP was?
Let's hear it.
It was a donkey. His name was Clyde.
Clyde the donkey, huh? The more you know. Well, it's always cool to hear that history of how mascots come apart and come together for each university. It's always cool stories to hear.
This weekend, a big one for UTEP softball. A sellout crowd at the Helen of Troy softball complex. Last CUSA home stand for this program originating back in 2004. The only member left from the class of 2005. The oldest as part of Conference USA. They host Missouri State. Betancourt remaining alive at the plate. Count remains 1-2.
It's been a long at bat for Betancourt, who's fouled off more than half of the pitches thrown to her in this 1-2 count.
The 1-2. Lincoln, the second pitcher put in by Texas Tech through game 2. In total, 3 pitchers have experience work through this doubleheader. That's Caitlin Terry, Nigeri Kennedy, and Samantha Lincoln. Terry, Lincoln, both left-handed pitchers. Slings it, swing, and a miss for strike 3. The long at bat comes to an end for Betancourt.
Second strikeout for Lincoln. That is the 9th strikeouts for Texas Tech in this game. 19 for the past 2.
That's a change made down at first base. In comes Jackie Liz. UTEP will also make a change. Lynn Sepulveda will go to the dugout. In comes Cameron Kendall Angulo. Angulo pitched in game 1 against Texas Tech. Now she gets ready to hit for the first time against the Red Raiders. Batting .304. Getting set for her 24th at bat. A total of 7 hits, 6 of those have been singles. The other, a double. 1 run, 3 runs batted in for Angulo, following in the footsteps of her sister Peyton, who played for this program back in 2023. Angulo takes ball 1.
Saw Angulo pitch 2 innings, game 1 versus Texas Tech. Allowed a couple runs there, but now getting her first at bats in this doubleheader.
And awaiting on deck is Cameron Guthrie. The 1-0. Slings it, strike 1. The 1-1 count. No runners on. Lincoln slings it, connects, ground ball into the glove of second, down to first. Throw is in time for out number 2. So Angulo returns to the dugout, and Cameron Guthrie will be the last chance at life for UTEP, coming into the position of Serenity Jockaway. Guthrie, a recent transfer to UTEP, out of Florida Atlantic. First at bat, a memorable one. It was a home run. Since then, she's had 2 more, a total of 3. But for Guthrie, she searches for her first hit in 24 days. Last time she earned a hit was on March 29th against Kennesaw State. The sophomore out of Bernay, Texas, at the plate, facing the 1-0. Turns to 1-1.
Last chance for UTEP if they want to make something happen here. As it is, they're within the margins of the mercy rule, down by 10 runs.
2 outs, 1-1. Turns to 2-1. So far, 23 total hits for the sophomore. 8 of those have been doubles. Faces the 2-1. Guthrie swings, foul ball, 2-2.
UTEP down to their last strike against Texas Tech. They'll play again in 2 days against Missouri State.
Those 3 games all available through ESPN Plus. The 2-2. Swings and misses for strike 3 and an end to the game. In doubleheader action, it's the Texas Tech Red Raiders taking both game number 2 won in fashion, 11-1, breaking their 1-game losing streak, earning 2 over the UTEP Miners. Benji Grajeda, your closing thoughts of the night.
Well, I thought the pitching staff was well once again in this game too. 10 strikeouts like the first one, 20 for the 2 games, and then it just exploded offensively in the first inning with 7 runs, and that really got the job done. They head to Arizona State to try to clinch the Big 12 title.
Texas Tech tonight showed why they're in the running for a national title. They'll go back to Tempe, Arizona, and we say thank you for sticking with us through 2 games. A big thank you to our producer, Ben Peterson, our entire Minor Vision crew, and from the West Texas town of El Paso, alongside Benji Grajeda, I'm Sebastian Perez Navarro, and for tonight, we're over and out.